It's the 11th of February today, and we're at the gym today, about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And look, to be honest, I felt terrible, absolutely terrible. Joints were aching, wrists were sore, knees were sore, ankles were sore, hips were sore, neck was sore. Just felt, serious inflammation in my body. And there's probably a couple of things it comes down to. I ate shit, crap food the other night. I ate KFC before going to bed, after work. And it was a bit of just like a convenience cop out, eating that. And I tell you what, you definitely feel it. The next day, I think, all that inflammation associated with eating bad food and eating lots of gluten and things like that. I think after a while, you feel the build up, and you feel that build up of inflammation in your body. And probably because I worked out so late yesterday evening with the run at close to midnight, I sort of went to sleep at about 2 a.m. After that, woke up about 8:30. It's probably working out too close to going to bed. I think normally when you have a day like today where I work out early in the morning and then I'll be recovering all throughout the afternoon and then all whilst I'm sleeping as well, gives your body a good period of time to deal with that inflammation and heal properly and work through those aches and pains and get yourself primed for the next day. What happened here was I had probably a 12-hour I'd say probably a 12-hour window from when I last worked out, which was when I last worked out to this workout here. Whereas normally, if you're doing it on continuous days off, you're pushing more 18, 20, 24 hours. So probably that time factor, as well as also eating terrible food and getting a lot of inflammation in my joints. But you can feel terrible. I think part of probably your mentality towards training every day and just making sure you get yourself in there and get your work done is just get yourself to the warm-up. If you can drag yourself up off the couch or out of your bed or down to the gym or to the treadmill or outside for a run, if you can just get to a warm-up and get to a stretch and get the blood pumping, you will work yourself into your workout and you'll work yourself into your work. And that's what I did today. So I came to the gym, warmed up my calves, did some shin raises and calf raises, sort of 3 sets of 15 for raises, for both sets of raises. And then I went straight to the power rack and to the squats and the deadlifts that I was going to do today. So trap bar deadlifts with a shrug, and then squats. The theme's 5x5, trying to get 5 sets for 5 reps in each set. And look, the deadlift didn't feel fantastic. I felt quite tight in my back, which is probably where a lot of that inflammation I was feeling. I did warm up for about 20 to 30 minutes before this, a lot of stretching and then a lot of sets and reps just with the bars to warm up, so with the barbell and the trap bar. And it didn't feel the best, so I decided not to go over 100 kilos, and that's basically if I'm doing trap bar deadlifts with a shrug, that's sort of 100 kilos is what I can sort of shrug for 5 reps, and then I'm sort of pushing it. So I just sticked with that, just because 1, the back was pretty tight, and 2, I didn't really want to injure myself or do anything stupid. I know I can lift much heavier than this, but I think as part of the 5x5 progression I'm probably going to do with these lift goes, I'll come back to it in a couple of days and I might go up to 110 or 120 for 5 and things like that. Now on the other hand, I did the squats, so I alternated between deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts with a shrug and the squats. And I'll tell you what, the hip pain's gone. I don't have any hip or groin pain anymore. My stretching regime is pretty onto it. I feel like my hip mobility, my knee and ankle mobility as well, is improving with all this stretching I'm doing. And also just, getting used to the movements. Like I said as well, the other day when I was doing my sort of, it's kind of like a reverse hyper with the bar on the back. Trying to incorporate those strength movements that benefit the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. But aren't those movements. I'm doing other movements, incorporating the bar into those back raises and hamstring and glute exercises and things like that. To get a sort of full back and posterior chain workout, I definitely noticed I felt a lot more secure and stronger under the bar. Could also be while my back's a little bit stiff as well. Sort of first time doing that exercise with the bar on my back, so maybe there was a bit of lingering stiffness a couple of days later, especially after eating this shitty, crappy food. Maybe it sort of just allowed the inflammation to just sort of congregate around where there was a little bit previously from the last couple of workouts. But squatting, I definitely felt more in control of the bar, I'd say. Obviously quite a skinny guy, I don't have huge traps, but today I felt like the bar was sitting on my back solidly. I do get a little bit of back knee, and do have some pimples and that just under my shoulders and on my back, so sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable with the bar, and I have to really position it and find a good spot, either on top of my traps, middle of my traps, somewhere where it just doesn't hurt putting the bar on my back. And I feel like incorporating those other exercises with the barbell allows me to build my back in a way that I can hold the bar in varied positions to allow for that comfort when holding the bar in the squatting motion. So like I said, deadlifts, we did 100 kilos. I worked our way up to 100 kilos. I think we did 3 sets with 100 kilos in the end for 5 reps. And then we did squats. I did 2 sets of 5 with 60 kilos. And then I did 3 sets of 5 with 80 kilos. And the 80 kilos is moving a little bit better than it was a couple of days ago. So I'm noticing some progression there and some improvement there. Last time I did 80 kilos for sets of 5 reps, I was really struggling, and I found it quite hard to hold my form and to sort of conduct the movement with the better technique that I know I can do. So it felt better. I felt a lot more stable. My base felt a lot more stable under these squats, and even though I was tired and I was sort of struggling after sort of 3 to 4 reps, I just didn't feel like I was going to drop the bar or fall as much as I did last week. So definitely noticing some improvements in those exercises I've started to pick up, as well as my stretching regime for this Train Everyday program. Look, that's going to be it for me today. We'll probably be back in the gym or maybe running tomorrow. I'll make up my mind on what I'm going to do probably this evening, depending on how I feel. And look, cheers. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.